and some, and presents the information about Ekal Vidyalaya and all the stuff. But he's in India attending IIM Bangalore, which has a independent study, just like Kanapanji is saying. So there was a conference in IIM Bangalore, so he was there attending. So when I saw the email from Sam Kanapanji, so I felt really honored to be among you all. So when I see you all doing all the good things, standing in front is an honor to me. Thank you for inviting me. So with that, we just had a Ekal board meeting yesterday. You saw Bipin Shah talking about FFE, and also he mentioned he's part of the board member. He mentioned about Ekal and all that. So he has done half of the job for me. And the remaining half of the job, when I heard him talking about the villages and the status of Indian villages, and Kanapanji has done other half of the job, so I'm going to repeat part of it or more of it, most of it, so excuse me for that. And the thing is, when I recently visited India, I went to Hyderabad and Delhi and Chennai. We have a glory. I can go to a high-tech city of Hyderabad and say, man, India is, just
top of the
blossoming.
world. Yeah.
I can say that. When I go through those streets of Hyderabad, high-tech city, yeah. I said, I didn't see some of those streets in America. They're so big buildings next to each other, and go to the fancy airport.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But go 20 miles away from there, you can see the poverty with your own eyes. I come from a district in Algonda, which is 60 miles away, and another 12 miles I have to go to my village, as if the time is frozen. The village development, when we think about Hyderabad, Delhi, Chennai, and when gentlemen come, I'm not going to take more than my time, so it's an initial talk. And they say, have you seen this famous bridge going from one port to the other in Bombay? I don't know because I don't go to Bombay. But few minutes away, or few hours, maybe half an hour away, you could see the poverty. We have to be generous enough to understand we can't just glorify the growth in big cities and not see the villages as, Sam Kanapanji said, some of them are under the tree, on a highway, lorry dust and all that. But anyway, I'm not going to talk in general, they have covered everything. So what is Ekal Vidyalaya? So I'll just go to the next step. And our mission, why, I've said everything about why rural. Because if you talk about, just Bipin Shah said about IITs, IIMs, we have great schools. And if you go to Shlambaji, where I work, and the guy says they go to IIT and hire people straight from IITs. But just go to the village school, as Kanapanji said, dropout is high. They don't have the facilities for as he was saying, even the laboratory facilities, even to use during the class, studies. So these are the hardships. So we chose even the smaller villages, the remote area where the visible poverty. Let's say there's a village and next to it there is a hamlet. There may be a school in village, elementary school, but there's no school in the hamlet. We call Gudam in Telugu and all that stuff. So where are those kids going? When I was going to school, being a farmer and farmer's son, only the comfortable few went to the school, who had a little land and who were able to use other laborers to plow and all that stuff. But the laborers didn't go. Their kids didn't go to the school. We saw them running around with their parents. So our idea is, how do we educate them? So our schools is not 9 to 5 or 9 to 12 or something, but we offer the classes to them when they come out of the work, maybe during the lunchtime, lunch break from 10 to 1 or in the evening. So we chose those areas, so that's important. And we provide the primary supportive education. Sometimes even if there is a school, there may be additional help they may need. So we provide that in terms of, it's not as Sam Kanapanji said, it's not a building, it's just a hut or a back of a existing house and all that stuff. So, and also we provide the healthcare education. So it's better to teach the kids from the day one on the cleanliness. After they become adults and all that stuff, it may be a little bit hard. And also development education and empowerment. Empowerment is, there is a, Right to Information Act. The villagers don't know. They don't know their rights. And even if you tell them, there may be atrocity on top of that. If you go and complain to a collector or a tahsildar or something, and there may be a problem even because, so they need to be told again and again that you have a right to information, and there is some activity in that. So we want to tell the parents of those and the kids and all that stuff. So, and who do we educate? You know, our education is up to 3rd grade, 4th grade. It's an informal education. So it's not a class, you know, some nice syllabus and all that stuff, you know, so, and 3 hours of daily learning. On an average, we have, you know, 30 kids, and most of them are girls because, you know, girls' percentage is higher. And how do we find the teacher? We don't go to the neighboring city or get the teacher and train them in here. We find the kids over there in terms of a married woman who moved to the village, and let's say she passed 10th grade. And how do we, you know, 10th grade, train her for few weeks or something, go to a training center in the neighboring, and let her be the teacher rather than bringing, because they are able to stay a little longer. You know, if I take a 10th grade kid who finished, maybe, you know, mostly we are looking for girls, and she may get married and move on to other town and, you know, not continue the teaching. So we prefer a 10th grade person, preferably most of the time woman, and married in the town, and she's going to stay and all that. So we select by village and all that stuff. But this is selected by the village committee. In other words, we don't go and impose. The village committee is formed, and then, you know, they are the decision, they are part of the process. So it's not somebody imposing from some other place. So what do we teach? The main subjects is language and arithmetic and the general knowledge of the area, geography, and things like that. And as I said before, additional subject, healthcare and moral education. You know, sometimes even in America we say we are losing some morals in terms of, you know, the kids not learning, even simple manners. So those are respecting your parents, respecting your elders. You know, those are the things as an adults now we learn when we were kids in the villages and all that stuff. So some physical training, including yoga and all that stuff. So, and you know, development education. You know, as I said in the top, it's a hygiene, first aid, immunization. Some kids even don't know. The governments have programs, but they don't reach it to the, you know, to the villages. You know, so, and self-reliance of villagers, and you know, these are all the common thing. Organic food production. You know, we have vermicompost projects in the villages where we have schools. You know, the dirt from there and the you know, worms from there. It's not importing from there. You don't need, you know, fertilizers from different places and all that for the, you know, food production and all that. And the next one is the empowerment education and all that. And how do we tell the local villages? In some, you know, the hamlets, there are 40, 50 families, that's all. So in the evening when they get together, you know, talk about the RTI and the, you know, Information Act, so to empower them. So, and so far, this organization has started formally in 1989 in Bihar, and now Jharkhand area and all that. Now we have approximately 38,000 villages. Out of that, we support up to 10,000 schools from America. You know, out of, you know, 10,000 schools from US. As Bipin Shahji said, that it is $1 a day, our motto, and you educate up to 30 kids in a small village per year, for 1 year. So out of this, and we have around 40 chapters, we have events everywhere, and, you know, I see Dr. Ketisha, so they do attend our, you know, come to our functions and all that. So, you know, we bring the musical programs as something, and then we invite the, you know, people. Not every one of them donates. Some of them donate more and some of them don't. Maybe we hope next year, or when they visit. You know, my only request is when you go to big cities, at least once you visit a village to know the reality of India. It's not, you know, I can go to the government statistics and find everything is good, but, you know, that's not the story. So we have, you know, obviously it's not spread in a state, we are spread around all over India. So, you know, the secrets of our success. You know, if you don't have a community support, you don't get any success, honestly, because they may think that you are intruding into their running of the village or their running of the schools, or you're taking their kids to some place, what are you teaching? So we need to educate the village elders before we, talk about, and the transparency.